Welcome back, guys, to another Punt Hunter video. In today's video, we will be doing our weekly recap. Okay, so before we kick off, a little bit of a mixed bag this week with the results. A little bit of a mixed bag with the punts, and you'll see that don't always take my word for getting quality punts. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump straight into this week's punts that we had on and get this review underway. So, first game was Friday, and it was the Sharks Cowboys. As we can see, it was a very close game, as anticipated by myself. In the last video, I said my two punts on this game. My actual punt would be the Sharks head-to-head win. And we see that the Sharks pipped the Cowboys 26-24. So I knew it would be a close game. I knew the Sharks were paying at good value, and we got the result with that one. Also, I had Jesse Ramian and Val Holmes as anytime try scorers. Unfortunately, these two did not come through. So I was on the money with my head-to-head bet, but Val Holmes and Jesse Ramian anytime try scorer were a miss. So starting off the weekend with a less than 50% achievement rate, I was hoping to pick this up over the other games, and lo and behold, I had a fourth bet on the Sharks game that I did talk about, a Sharks 1-12 win. Okay, so that was the more specific one. So if you were with me on that, we would have gone 50% from the first game, plus my win in the Rabbitohs 46-0. So currently you would be sitting at about 60% of your bets correct, or 3 out of 5. So you'd be doing all right. Now, moving on, the Panthers Roosters. In this game, we can see that the Panthers got the job done. Now, I had two bets on this game. The first bet was a same game multi, and I missed this. This was the same game multi that included the Panthers being the first team to score 2 tries. So unfortunately, the Roosters came out the gate really quickly and put on 2 tries to get 12 points, and that was all they scored. So every other step of my same game multi did come through, but unfortunately, missing out on the fact that the Roosters scored 2 tries first, and that's just the luck of the punt. But on a winning side of things, I had the Panthers winning 13 plus, and this result showed that the Panthers are still a team to be messed with. Not a team to be messed with, sorry. We saw that Nathan Cleary dominated the show. He was everywhere. The inclusion of the New South Wales boys again was very much needed, and it showed that this team means business. A convincing win over a defiant Roosters team that they came out of the blocks well, but faded in the second half. Now, we have a look at the next game of the weekend, and this is one that stung me. I said to you guys, never, ever, ever trust a Warriors game. Never bet on the Warriors. Never have them in your multi. Because this is what happens. I told you guys that the Warriors were close to full strength, and I believe they would win 1-12. And they ended up losing 10-6 in an absolute snooze fest of a game. It was boring. It was filled with errors. The weather played a massive part. But well deserved by the Knights. They just wanted it more. So my Warriors 1-12 was a miss. Reece Walsh, I did say as a riskier bet, you could take him anytime try scorer. Again, it was a miss. So we come out of the first few rounds with being pretty demoralised by our punts on this. I'm not going to lie. It has not been a round of successful punts to this point. And if anything, playing the more conservative punt and going with the favourite was probably the way that the market was. And, we will learn some lessons going into next week. So that was the Warriors game. I missed the Warriors 1-12, and I also missed Reece Walsh anytime try scorer. So, we went to the next game, which, again, I was well off the money. I said that the Dragons were appalling the week before, which they were against the Bulldogs. But, lo and behold, the Dragons come and pull out a victory. There's nothing more really to be said about that. I was wrong. It was a close game, and the Dragons thoroughly deserved the win. The Raiders, I don't know what is going on with them, and I don't think that you should be putting or riding or hoping for any kind of consistency out of the Raiders with your punts going forward. It's maybe one to steer clear of, as it has stung me the last few weeks. So the Dragons got the job done, 22-20. Close game. Raiders 13 plus was a big miss. It was probably the worst call of the weekend. But that's what sport does. That's what sport throws up at us every so often. Now, we move on to the games from the late game on Saturday, which was the Storm Tigers. Now, this is where I made up some ground again. I had the Storm winning 13 plus, which they smoked them. Again, the Storm are just looking like a class above every team they play. As you can see, it's pretty much a who's who of scoring, which unfortunately didn't work with my same game multi. I had Nico Hines, but I had Olam and Adokar, and this seemed to be the only week that Olam or Adokar did not score. So if you backed the same game multi with the try scorers that I said, you would have had a miss as well. So the Storm 13 plus was a good punt. The Tigers were hopeless. The Storm were just on another level. The first half of the Storm, I don't think I've seen a team start off so well in a fair while. They were on fire. Nico Hines, Brandon Smith, you name it, they were just playing out of their skin. So the Storm are looking the goods for me at the moment. Storm and Panthers are still my favourites for the premiership this year. So we move on. Eels. I had the Eels winning 13 plus, which they did come through and do so. So 36-10. I didn't think the Bulldogs would be able to back up, and they showed that they can't against a lot more of a classier side than the Dragons. So the Eels did the job, 36-10. If you decided to get on the line with that, like I said, it could be an option. I didn't think I'd see the Bulldogs getting beaten by 20 points. Unfortunately, you would have missed out. It was a 26-point margin. So that kind of... Fortunately enough, the line was only $1.90, so, it was not a massive loss for me. I didn't put much money on it, but if you chose to get on the line with me, we missed out on that one as well, unfortunately. Moving right along. The last game of the weekend, which was Sea Eagles Titans. This is where we made up some ground, okay? So, in this match, we had Manly 13 plus win, which was a big tick. I had an anytime try scorer, which was a big tick. So that was 2 out of 3. So we had Manly 13 plus, we had Tom Trbojevic anytime try scorer. We got 2 big ticks for that. And the same game multi that I mentioned as well, which would have been... I'm just trying to bring it up here. Resulted. The same game multi that I mentioned in this game in my last video, which I can't remember off the top of my head, would have come through as well. So that brought us up to a grand total of 9 from 16 bets coming through this week. Now, that is only narrowly above 50%, which is not great. And there were some lessons learnt this week to take forward for next week. So if you were following along, 9 from 16 is not a great end to the week. And we'll be looking to do some soul searching with some of these teams that we're choosing to back going into next week. Now, on the multi, of course, my weekly multi, we missed. And we missed because we backed the Warriors first off. If I didn't back the Warriors, we would have been closer. But we missed the Warriors and the Raiders, which I was not expecting to happen. And that we ended up getting 6 out of 8 on that multi. So, not too bad if I was doing a season-long picking, head-to-head picks. But when you have a multi writing it, 6 out of 8 just ain't good enough. So we'll try and tidy that up next week and pick 8 from 8, which would be nice. Right. Anyways, with that being said, that wraps up the video for this review of round 15. Next video, we'll be looking at State of Origin on Sunday. A little bit of a break from the NRL this week while the Origin is on the weekend. So I'll have a deep dive into the Origin, what the teams are looking like, where I will be placing my money, and what the kind of plan is going into that. So we'll have a full breakdown of that game coming up later in the week. As always, guys, if you like the content, please like, please comment, please subscribe. We've got some awesome new logos done up, some graphic stuff, so the channel is starting to take shape. It is very much in its infancy at the moment, but I thank all of you that have shown some kind of support so far. And keep the love up. I will see you guys in next time.